I have an understanding of the cycle of show business and kind of what happens in people's careers and when enough is enough. And oftentimes people don't know that. I think I have a good balance of both in my life, of the importance of both. And it's hard to maintain. It's hard to do, especially when you're doing a show like that. But I don't think it was the be kind thing that got her. I think that's simplification, but it was a lot of things and it was complicated. And I'm glad that she's, going to be finished and she can get some time, to herself to just, it's a huge kind of strange, thing to be on a show like that and have all that attention on you. And she had it for like 19 years.
Recently, Rosie O'Donnell stirred attention with a surprising statement that quickly caught people off guard, suggesting that the story behind Ellen DeGeneres leaving the United States and ending her long-running show may not be as simple as many believe, and hinting at deeper, more serious reasons, though these ideas remain unconfirmed. As conversations grew and people began connecting different events, some started to notice patterns that raised questions, especially since within 6 months of The Ellen Show coming to an end, two individuals connected to Ellen, Stephen Twitch Boss, who worked as the show's music executive producer, and Nhechi, her former partner, both passed away under tragic circumstances, and because of how close these events occurred, speculation spread online with some suggesting possible connections. Although it is important to recognize that these are claims and theories circulating publicly rather than verified facts, and no confirmed evidence has linked these events together or tied Ellen directly to them, yet the situation continues to spark debate and curiosity, leaving many people wondering what truly happened behind the scenes.
DeGeneres is speaking out about reports of workplace mistreatment in a letter to her staff. The talk show host shared her initial reaction to the allegations from current and former employees and revealed what actions are being taken to improve company culture. Ellen said she was disappointed to learn about the claims in a recent BuzzFeed article, citing the show's enormous growth over the years and her increased reliance on people to do their jobs as they knew I'd want them done. She went on to acknowledge that clearly some didn't.
I don't think you achieve anything by bullying people.
In a statement to ET, Warner Brothers, the studio behind Ellen's show, claims they have interviewed dozens of current and former employees in the wake of these allegations. They say that during their investigation, it was revealed that there were some deficiencies related to the show's day-to-day management, and that moving forward, the studio and Ellen are committed to creating a workplace based on respect and inclusion.
I stay grateful and I try to stay humble, and I think that I pay attention to what is important and what is real.
These misconduct allegations stem from a BuzzFeed article that was published last week, which included anonymous accounts from a dozen former and one current employee.
After Ellen DeGeneres publicly came out during an appearance on Rosie O'Donnell's show in 1996, the two shared a strong friendship for many years, but over time that bond faded and they no longer speak as often. Now, Rosie has started opening up about their past connection and explaining why she chose to step back, pointing out that despite her long history with Ellen, she was never invited onto The Ellen Show throughout its more than 2-decade run, which raised eyebrows among fans, and as the show neared its end in 2022 following widespread criticism about the workplace environment, Ellen's long television journey also came to a close, after which a series of tragic events added to the public's curiosity, including the passing of Nhechi, Ellen's former partner, who died in a car accident just 2 months after the show ended, and later that same year, Stephen Twitch Boss, who had been closely associated with the program, also passed away, leaving many people reflecting on the connections between these events while acknowledging that they remain separate incidents without confirmed links.
Learning more tonight about the tragic side of Stephen Twitch Boss and the detailed steps he took to hide his plans. TMZ is reporting when Twitch left his home the day before he took an Uber to a motel about a mile away. At the motel, he switched his phone to airplane mode so no one could reach him. The motel manager says he checked in under his own name and never left his room. We also now know that Twitch left a suicide note. Details have not been made public, but TMZ reports the note alluded to challenges Twitch had faced in the past. Entertainer Tyler Perry knows firsthand what that is like.
I want to take you back to a time in my life where I tried to commit suicide a couple of times because it was so dark. I thought the only way to make this better, this pain go away and stay in my life. Had any of those attempts happened, I would have missed the best.
2 months after the Ellen Show came to an end, executive producer Stephen Twitch Boss tragically died, and reports mentioned that he had left behind a note, which led to intense speculation online, with some claiming, without verified evidence, that it included references to Ellen DeGeneres, while others pointed to statements from his wife indicating that he had been dealing with significant stress, possibly connected to work-related pressures, though no confirmed investigation has established a direct link between his passing and Ellen or the show itself, and despite the emotional weight of these claims, it remains important to treat them carefully, recognizing that many circulating stories are unverified and that the situation is far more complex than rumors suggest.
On the morning of Tuesday, December 12, Twitch packed a small bag with only a change of clothes and his handgun, slipped out of his house without telling Allison, turned his phone to airplane mode so he couldn't be tracked, and took an Uber to the Oak Tree Inn, a dreary 2-story motel in a hacienda-style building on heavily trafficked Ventura Boulevard, just a mile from his house, and paid $107 to reserve a room for a single night. Twitch made his way down to room 249 and let himself in. Allison reported to police that Twitch was missing shortly after he had left the house, noting with particular worry that she couldn't reach him by phone and he had not taken his car with him when he left, 2 things that she said were very much out of character for him.
Because there were no details about Twitch's death, people just rushed to fill that void. This was at the time when Ellen had built this edifice as the nicest person on television. She would have YouTube stars, and all of a sudden that edifice was crumbling.
The news about Ellen created a wave of online criticism at the time, including some directed at Twitch.
Some reports suggest that Stephen Twitch Boss became deeply upset over things he may have witnessed behind the scenes that he was not expected to see, and according to these claims, his wife Allison Holker shared that he left a note before his passing, which has been widely discussed online, with unverified accounts stating that he mentioned feeling intense pressure, including stress linked to Ellen DeGeneres and the situation surrounding her public image at the time, while some narratives further allege that Ellen asked him to support her publicly and help defend her reputation during the controversy over workplace claims, possibly relying on the trust audiences had in him, and although these stories continue to circulate, there is no confirmed evidence proving that such events occurred, and it is important to approach these claims with caution, recognizing that they remain speculative rather than established facts.
Hollywood managers who manage kids, it's a racket, man.
Did you hear that kid from Strange?
Grooming these kids, dude.
That kid from Strange Things, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
He just left his manager, and they're alleging sex abuse. They just left their agent. See if you can find that. Owen Benjamin,
the curly haired kid.
Oh yeah,
and he's
Owen Benjamin just put it on his Instagram today because Owen has been taking a lot of heat online because he said that a 3-year-old kid shouldn't be transgender, and people giving him a hard time saying he's a bigot. Like, are you out of your mind? When
What's
you're
up with this transgender?
Stranger Things actor dropped agent because of accused of assault. Disney star follows suit. Jesus Christ, this is nuts.
Watch
man.
An Open Secret, and they go through. Dude, they pick. They're accusing people. It's for free, I think, on Vimeo.
Yeah, you
can watch it for free. On Open Secret.
Just on YouTube or something.
On Vimeo.
You know what Sturgill Simpson told me? He said the same thing exists in music.
What?
He said in music there's a bunch of pedos and pederasts
for sure.
in music as well.
The entertainment business all the way through. Music. This was about. This is about music and movies and TV. It's about the whole entertainment business.
Women and kids.
Mostly kids.
And sometimes dudes. You know, Terry Crews said that he was attacked. Well, not attacked. Some dude grabbed his dick
in front of his
some
wife.
famous dude.
When Bill Cosby was invited onto Rosie O'Donnell's program, some reports later suggested that concerns about his behavior were overlooked by those behind the scenes, reflecting a broader claim that certain actions were sometimes ignored within parts of the entertainment industry, and this has often been used to highlight what some believe can happen away from the public eye in Hollywood, where discussions about misconduct have surfaced repeatedly over the years. Many aspiring performers have shared stories about facing difficult and uncomfortable situations early in their careers, including pressure to form close relationships with influential figures such as music executives or filmmakers, and according to these accounts, opportunities could depend on how willing someone was to go along with the expectations set by those in power. Though it is important to recognize that these are serious allegations discussed publicly and should be approached thoughtfully and with care. It is often brought up in conversations about how young artists are treated in the industry, with some stories pointing to uncomfortable moments from his early fame, including claims about a widely discussed 48-hour party hosted by Sean Diddy Combs, where he was allegedly put in difficult situations, and critics have also revisited interviews involving Ellen DeGeneres. suggesting that during certain moments she appeared to treat his personal experiences lightly rather than stepping in with support when his privacy was being questioned, though these interpretations are based on public perception and circulating narratives, and it remains important to approach such claims carefully, recognizing that not all accounts are fully verified and may reflect opinions rather than confirmed facts.
A new thing. Are you going to try to be early?
Yes, I'm trying to be early.
Are you going to be early for my party?
Yes, I am. No.
No.
You know I have to arrive fashionably late.
All right. Not too late, though.
Not too late?
Not too late, please.
What time would you like me there?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But not too late. Because, you know, once you get there, the party really starts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I promise you I'm not going to let you down on this big one.
All right,
For
good.
real.
Good.
Your shoes, your feet are going to have blisters. You're going to be dancing so hard.
Sean Diddy Combs reportedly appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres show multiple times over the years, and in past conversations, Ellen DeGeneres hinted that she was aware of some of his after-party behavior, which has since fueled speculation online, especially as timelines began to overlap in a way that caught public attention, with some pointing out that Ellen's decision to step away from the United States seemed to come around the same period that legal issues involving Diddy were making headlines, including reports about federal authorities searching his Miami property, and not long after, Ellen announced that she was relocating to the United Kingdom with her wife, Portia de Rossi, in 2024, describing it as a permanent move, though while these events have been discussed together in various narratives, there is no confirmed evidence directly linking her relocation to those investigations, and much of what circulates remains based on timing and public interpretation rather than verified facts.
She sounded so sincere, didn't she?
Very
She would
sincere.
Virtually choke on her words. But the best one for me is Ellen DeGeneres, who is, by the way, a very nasty person. I've had dealings with her in Australia. Could I tell you some stories about that cow? But anyway, good riddance to her. But she was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she?
Well, this is why I say release the Diddy files.
Yeah.
Release the Diddy files. Come on, Donald Trump. We want to know whose name.
So maybe she's hightailing out of there before all that is thrown at her as well. But what a bunch of hip.
Compared with the simple idea of relocating to the UK, some people argue that the timing raises more questions, especially as they point to how Ellen DeGeneres gradually stepped away from the public spotlight and reshaped her public image over time, while also noting reports that she has suggested she may eventually return to television, which added another layer to ongoing speculation. At the same time, discussions online have tried to connect these developments with events involving Sean Diddy Combs and his legal situation, including claims about requests for changes in custody or release status, though these points are not consistently verified across reliable sources, and much of the narrative is driven by timing overlaps and public interpretation rather than confirmed evidence, making the situation appear more connected in conversation than it is supported by established facts.
Let's talk about this facial that you're obsessed with. How many did you get the whole cast of Ocean's 8 to do
Not
this?
everybody.
Okay, good, smart ones.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay, explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these, some of you, I think many of you know it, and it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the
What are you pushing into the skin, Sandra?
Sarah?
Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract
its pores.
Over the years, a number of critics have called attention to Ellen's questionable behavior, such as her support for the use of human stem cells taken from newborns. In an episode of her show Ellen, she revealed that all celebrities need stem cells from young individuals to keep looking young. Online tabloids have also linked Ellen's changed appearance to the fact that she stopped receiving these treatments when Diddy was imprisoned. Her use of kid-extracted adrenochromes in a Sandra Bullock program was openly recognized by Ellen and Sandra Bullock, who made fun of the fact that it kept the children young.